Hi, this is Autodidact, and in this video I'm going to show you how to edit this photo and come up with this photo using Photoshop CC 2020. But before we start, just a quick note here. If you have questions in your mind or something to say, please don't hesitate to type it down on the comment section below, because I will be reviewing all the comments and I hope to help you. If you like this video or my channel, please don't forget to subscribe and click on the bell icon so you'll be notified for new uploaded videos. So without further ado, let's get to it.
Okay, so what we want to do here is to remove the fence in front of this beautiful leopard and finally add a bit more color saturation to make it look more lively. So let's get started. Now the first thing you need to do here is to create a copy of the background layer. And to do that, you can either press Ctrl J on your keyboard or Command J on Mac, or you can simply right click on the background layer and here you'll find duplicate layer, and you can rename this if you want, but I'll just click OK here, and here it is, another copy of the background. But for now I'll just remove this because we don't need this one and we only need a copy of the background layer. So let's select the layer 1. Now we will be using the brush tool here to remove the fence efficiently. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's select the brush tool here. And next is we adjust the size of the brush by pressing either the open or the close bracket on your keyboard. Just enough to, cover the wire fence here. Okay, once we are good with that, let's go ahead and make sure that the foreground color here is black. If that's not the case, you can press X on your keyboard to switch it back to the default, just like that. Okay, now next thing we need to do here is to create a layer, a new layer. Let's rename this to painting. So with that painting layer selected, so all you have to do is click and hold the shift key and then click and then hold the shift key, click and hold the shift key and click, hold the shift key and click. So I'm going to speed this up, okay? And lastly, these horizontal wire fence here, and this adjusts the size again because it's smaller wire, and we're done. Alright, now let me show you the magic. So click on the layer 1 and then press and hold Ctrl key on your keyboard and click on the thumbnail of the painting layer here above the layer 1, and presto. That is just so cool, right? So now you have the option to either remove this or keep it on your layers panel. So if you want to keep this, you can just hide it by clicking on the visibility icon here. You can click on that so it would hide the layer or the painting. And now we have the selection. Now go back to the layer 1 so we can apply the content aware fill. So go ahead and click edit here and content aware fill. Now you have to choose if you are going to output this to a new layer or to the current layer, which is the layer 1 that we've selected. But I'll go ahead and click new layer here because I want to output it to a new layer, so the effect will not be fused to the layer 1. Alright, so now you can click the OK button and boom, that is just awesome. So now we can see layer 1 copy here because we've selected to output to a new layer. So if we've selected to output to current layer, the content aware fill will be fused here on the layer 1. But since we've selected to output the content aware fill to new layer, the content aware fill is now fused with this new layer. So if I'm going to hide this layer, see that? If I'm going to show the content aware fill layer, the fence will be gone. Okay, so let's rename this one fence content aware. Okay, so let's get rid of the selection here by pressing Ctrl D. Alright, so the next thing we need to do is fixing some details here, like of course the eye. We're going to fix this one and this one and some here and here. So let's use the spot filling brush tool. Alright, now let's fix the eye. So we need to fix this one. So to fix this, we have to create a new layer and then rename this to eye clone, because we're going to use the clone stump here. Now select the layer 1 and then select the clone stump tool. And while the layer 1 is selected, we have to resample the eye by pressing Alt key and then click here. And then now you have resampled the eye, you go ahead and click on the eye clone layer and just click on that wherever you want. Alright, so now we have the eye clone here. So next thing we want to do is to flip that. So I'm going to flip that, transform, flip horizontally, and there we go. Let's create a mask here. Alright, so now we fixed the eye. So the last thing we need to do here is add a little bit more saturation here. Let's go ahead and merge this one by pressing the Ctrl E, and then we can group this eye clone. Let's rename this to fence content aware, and let's group this one. Now we can apply the hue and saturation. So we click here and resample and boop to make some color, and sample and boop, and we can adjust the contrast. Okay, just a contrast. Okay, so alright, cool. So now this is before and this is the after. I think we're good here. So thank you for watching this video, and I hope you learned something new today.